In this lesson, we're going to talk a little bit about how we could attack a SQL Server system and how we would go about actually finding those servers and being able to do things like checking for passwords and doing brute force logins and that sort of thing. The first thing I want to do here is I want to make use of a scanner. I'm going to use scanner MSSQL MSSQL_ping. We're using the MSSQL_ping module here, and now I've got to set a couple of variables, and the first one is our hosts, and I'm going to scan my entire network, 172.30.42.0/24. It's going to scan all 254 addresses on the network and see whether there's any MS SQL servers there. Because I want this to go a little bit quicker than it otherwise would, I'm going to bump my thread counts up to 20. We should get through this scan pretty quickly. Now I'm just going to exploit, and it's going to run through all of the hosts on the network and see what we've got here. Looks like we've turned up one SQL Express server. It's not a full-blown MS SQL server, it's a desktop SQL server. It's running SQL Express. And it's going to now scan through the rest of the hosts. And you can see it's actually listening on TCP 1488. So we've got a port that's open. We did find a version number. And it looks like there's a named pipe as well. Just about done with the scan. And now what we can do is we could actually use scanner MSSQL login. And now I have to have a word list here, something that I can use for passwords. And I've got too many S's. So let's try that again. I need a word list that's going to serve as a dictionary that we're going to do brute force password attacks on. Let me look at the options here and see what we've got. You can see there's a lot of different options here. We've got blank passwords, brute force speed, password, pass file, and we've got our host, our port. And what I want to do here is set the our host as 172.30.42.17 was the address, and I'm going to set my pass file as I've got a word list there. What I ought to be able to do is run this password checker against this particular system here. And since it's a SQL Express server, this may not actually work, but I'm going to take a shot at it. Actually, let's try that again. Set our hosts to 172.30.42. I could do the whole network here, but in this case, I'm just going to do one host. So I'm going to give it a host identifier here. And now I can run the exploit. We're trying the authentication scanner, and it looks like we got a connection failed. And this is likely because it's a SQL Express server rather than a full MS SQL server. But if we were able to do that and actually get in there, there are a number of other things that we could actually do once we had found the password and were able to log in. You can see that there are a number of attacks here. We've got a password hash dump. We've got the schema dump. Once you're able to get the password, there are a number of other things that you can do once you get in. We could run MS SQL enum and get the configuration, and we could get an XP command shell. There's a number of things that we would be able to do once we got the password to the system, and you could use the MS SQL login script or module as a way to attempt to brute force the passwords. As long as you had a reasonably good dictionary, you may be able to get the password and be able to log into the SQL server that way.